Today, I'm honored to speak with one of the inspiring figures in my professional journey, Francois Levy. Hello, Francois.
Man, Mohammed Reza.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
It's been 12 years that we have been working together, being friends, and everything started from a Skype call.
This is true.
Francois, let's go to the beginning of your IT journey, actually, how it is started.
It started just by interest. I had to open a computer, start tapping on it. I was traveling in the year of 1983 with my big heavy laptop with me, and that was really the beginning of we didn't have a structure education, I would say. And all my journey has been like that. So I learned on the field when I had to face some situation or interested in something new and learn by myself.
Wow, this is amazing. Okay, and Francois, your level of expertise and being up to date has always been admirable. How you keep yourself that much up to date?
Well, if you like your job, you never have to work again. I mean, when actually work is a passion, you are always interested in any information passing by. And, sometimes it's nothing. It's sometimes you pass in the street or you meet a situation and you learn from that. They say, oh, that's interesting. You have to always update your knowledge. If you get a knowledge today, if you don't take care of it, is going to die in a very short time because the technology moves very fast. So I'm always eyes and ears open to catch any information we actually fit this knowledge.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Because always I've been inspired because whatever comes to the market and we talk to you, you know deep about that issue and that stuff.
Well, I'm not an expert in everything. I just try to understand how things work and how we got to position ourselves with what we have in hand and how to evolve. Because if we don't evolve, we're going to die as well. So this is a very interesting part. I love software because I always say when you've got a manufactured product, the product is obsolete by the time it comes out of the factory. The software is alive. It's just evolve all the time, every day.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Francois, everyone knows how much you work. We are that close to you that we know that you have all your hobbies and everyone with you has great memories. How you struggle to match and balance the life and work together?
But it depends on the work you do. If you got to provide time of work and presence of work, if I were the bus driver, I've got no choice to sit behind the steering wheel of my bus. But when I got an intellectual work, I can work even when I'm sailing because people know that I'm quite like sailing. So I can be steering in the middle of the sea and start thinking about a situation, a problem, a strategy, and that's time of work. But at the same time I work, I take care of my body, I take care of my good health, I take care of my good mood, and I work even better.
Speaking of sailing, how long are you sailing in each year?
Oh, that's I can't tell everybody because they might be jealous. Now I quite sail enough to take my time. I've got to combine in between my offshore sailing, sometimes solo sailing, and the sailing. I've got to combine to please my wife in a good environment and comfortable surrounding and situation. I can actually more or less something a month and a half would be roughly all what I sell per year, and I love it.
Oh, 45 to 50 days. It's interesting that we are all connected during that time, and Francois still keeps working during those sailing times, actually. And Francois, do you have a special routine in your daily life, or you go as it is?
No, I have a routine. I need to feel good in my metabolism, I would say. I mean, wake up early and I am attached to do my training and fitness. I want to actually be up to date on what's going on, so to see that my emails and know what I've got to do during the day. Being on my email first thing normally in the morning feeds my brain for the rest of what I'm going to do, to start thinking of it. So after I can go to the gym and try think of it, I'm attached to get a good breakfast. I mean, it's all a sort of my routine, and I've got to be in sort of this peaceful routine for me, the better I feel. But sometimes you travel and you don't have a choice, so you got to adapt yourself as well.
Oh yeah, you like breakfast as I do.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, because I go to sleep expecting a nice breakfast in the morning.
You sleep better.
Exactly.
If you look forward for your breakfast, that's good.
Yeah, and if I get back to your career, you're leading a global team from diverse cultures, different opinions and ideas. What is behind your strategy that you can lead the team as a family and they are really working nice globally?
I think this is the chance of what I have been in contact with different culture. I've been traveling from the year of 20, all over Africa, the Middle East. I face different culture. And this is good because when you're with the same people in the same environment, you think in the same way. If you are with different people in different environment, you get yourself at the catch of a different way of thinking. And different way of thinking is always sitting around an object, around a situation in a different angle, and you see different things. So if you put yourself at the catch of that, you can actually see different approach of a problem. And sometimes yours is not the best. I mean, you can have some people around the team can have a better angle than you.
Mhm. Yeah, because it has always been amazing. Especially, I remember the tough meetings that we have been together in that. You make that meeting really easy for everyone to share the ideas, even the objections. And maybe that objections becomes a great idea in the end of the meeting.
I think what is very important is the respect of the other party, of the other people around the table, just because as well they have a different point of view, can be respected and can bring something positive in the debate. So just be respectful with all the people you are in. They're respectful in return, and you can become in a constructive move together.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. And what do you think is the toughest challenge of a director like you?
Oh, it can be difficult because I don't see a challenge. Um, the challenge is to find. I think that the real challenge is to find the right people can actually match. You can get well on track together, even if they're different. But you can get well on track together. And with the years, I've learned to trust my feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And the people I have around me has been hired and joined us by the feeling mostly. And each time I overcome this feeling and I ignored it, I made a mistake. So I think that human resource is not an exact science, but is a combination of a lot of things. The speech, the way you get a contact, there is science for that, like NLP. There is different approach to understand if you're going to have a fit with this person or not. And having the right people around you, this is a key.
No, amazing. Because you're right. Because whenever I look at the team that we are working with, I'm always wondering how they were selected.
By feeling, Miraj, I met him twice. And one day he contacted me, say, I'm going to leave Pakistan. I say, where are you going? I say, I'm going to Dubai. And where are you going to Dubai? Say, I'm going to go and find a job. I say, you don't have to find a job, you got a job. He said, are you serious? I say, I'm always serious.
Yeah, you're.
And since he joined me like that in 2014, and I met him twice before, we were working together, but I had a feeling that the way he was approaching the project we worked on remotely was good. In India was the same. I interviewed for 6 months different people. Said, no, this one. I don't feel that one. And then came Mahesh and said, I'm going to fit with this guy. And this is the way it is. And I think that's the the best approach you can have, because it creates a mutual communication, mutual respect, and really a good spirit to work together.
Oh, yes. Speaking of the knowledge and your feeling, have you ever hired a person who is not that much expert, but it become really great person in the future, and you trusted your feeling?
Yeah, I think that the knowledge is can be acquired, and I've been a good example of that, because I learned my job I do today was 50. I knew nothing about it before. Uh, no, knowledge is something you can acquire as far as the spirit is there. The most important is the spirit, is the personality.
Oh, yeah. Let me highlight that. Before 50, you didn't have any knowledge of IT.
No, I was playing with computers even when I was in a previous job.
Yeah.
I was in the food industry. That was not technical enough for me. That was a family company, but actually, I wanted to get something more technical. And I came into access control in the year 97. And I've been pushed by different opportunities and situations into the IT technology. I had to learn everything. So in 2009, I came across Digiphone, and I knew nothing about CCTV, nothing about what's an IP server, etc. And I learned all of that by passion.
Okay, that's amazing. One of the topics that I want to talk with you, Francois, is the artificial intelligence. And you know the effects of AI in our industry, and we have the ups and downs of AI. When it became into the when it came to the market, it was a different story. Expectations were really high, but after a while it didn't come out as it was. But now again, they are becoming more mature. What do you think of artificial intelligence in our market, and what do you think of the future of that?
You know, artificial intelligence, I heard about it for a long time. I've got a cousin, he's a bit older than me. He always been an intellectual person. And he was 20, he was dating a girl. The father was having a company producing big thing objects in the 70s. And they say, "Hey, young man, and you, what you doing?" I say, "I'm in artificial intelligence." Oh, what is it, artificial intelligence? You know, that was out of the catch of an industrial person to talk about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, of course, the machine can actually deliver more than just producing water or making cold in the fridge. And it's getting a move into what the machine can do. After you had what the imagination could actually think about, and what the technology was capable of delivering. Of course, the GPU, which came from the gaming, managed to deliver the required computing power to actually start running these engines. The artificial intelligence, I think we're at the beginning of it. To tell you the truth, out of that, we ask all to understand what is the situation we need to handle, and what is the artificial intelligence we've got to put in front of that. This is, otherwise it's going to be huge and we're going to lose ourselves. So always define what is your goal, what you want to achieve, and which tool you're going to use to achieve that. After the artificial intelligence improvement will improve the delivery.
Oh, yes. Because I remember you always say, oh, we promise what we can deliver and do not upsell anything, because most of the new stuff are more the marketing materials. Is not that much mature inside, and we have to be careful what we transfer to the customer is the actual product, not a vision that will be in the future.
Indeed, and you're right to remind me that. But one day we were at the show in Paris, and we got some, all the aqua park is a customer in France having plenty of aqua park. And the chief of security say, François, could we actually detect someone drowning in a swimming pool with analytic? I say it might be possible. That was before COVID.
Yeah.
And thank God COVID came, few years along, artificial intelligence went better, and we could deliver with artificial intelligence what we didn't have at this time that mature. So I don't like to take too much risk, but you know that the time is playing for you with artificial intelligence.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. And how do you see our industry in the near future? For example, for 2024, there were the expectations of 30% increase in the sales of all companies on average, but it came out to be less than that. So, what do you think of this industry for the next year or the 5 years in front?
Well, the good thing we are in a position we are a challenger, not a leader. It's always better to be a challenger than a leader. Don't be too far behind when you're a challenger, but you avoid to make the mistakes of what the leaders are doing. There's a mutation in the industry. Okay, if you take a lot of people are talking about the cloud, that's true that there's a lot of service are already in the cloud. I mean, even the electricity supply, you get plugged in and you get your electricity. You don't have your own generation of electricity. I remember in the old days, I had the CRM and the ERP, I had my servers that made the backup every day. Now you just get an account, etc. The industry is mature for cloud. Let's see how it comes. And we got to prepare the bricks and bits and bobs to make it become ready for that. Is it the future? Let's see. Don't go too fast. It is the hybrid technology also. Don't go too fast. There's another notion is very important to me, and I think in the global market environment, and it's not only me saying that, is also the regulation coming in place is cybersecurity. So you got to secure your data. You are on a system for security, but if anyone can access and hack this system, it's not a security system.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to adapt that. You got also to look at the new technology. You talk about the AI, but also the devices hosting intelligent themselves. Are we going to make them integrate into the global environment that what we deliver?
Yeah.
So let's see, be aware, open and eyes open, and we can adapt ourselves. I don't see a set picture, and nobody can, but because the picture is just getting fuzzy and just clearer a bit in some area and then start evolving as well.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. So you're saying that the picture could be dynamic and we cannot have a set picture. What we can highlight is the cloud, is the AI, and is the cybersecurity.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And the integration in between the system to make the system create a global environment as well. This is important. What we're attached to do is deliver or run all of that service, because the system, you can't put it off the shelf and just deliver it. You got to go along to provide this service to deliver it. You deliver a solution, not a product. This is the key.
Exactly. And also, I see the cameras are really evolving and they are using a more powerful processors inside, and some of them are using some GPUs. How do you see the future of them? Maybe in the future, we will have only one camera working as the vision and also different sensors attached to it, and it can do everything for us in a single piece of camera, and the softwares and the recorders can receive the data, or it will be a different story from your point of view.
I don't have a crystal ball, but I tell you one thing. When you started to have a mobile phone, okay, I had my case, get my handset and talking, hanging up, it was over. Now you've got cameras. There are more camera and mobile phones. There are more cameras and payment device and navigation system and all sorts of things more than just the phone itself. So who would have predicted that when actually Steve Jobs managed to launch the first iPhone? And he was visionary about what could become the personal device. I can't tell you, I'm not visionary, I'm not Steve Jobs, but indeed, I think the technology reserves a lot of surprises to us.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting, yeah. And all of us, we are attached together, and you have spent more than a decade of your life in Digifort. Can you imagine your life without Digifort in a day?
Well, I'm not ready for that. Just give it time. I mean, I enjoy what I'm doing. Passionate. The structure of the way I handle my work, as I said, is my intellectual time of work, is not my physical time of work. It gives me a certain lifestyle, and I like to get my brain working. I can't imagine starting be retired and go and see my friend playing golf and get my brain turning into mush, and that's not really my mentality. Let's keep going and we'll see how it lasts.
Yes, you're the soul of Digifort and inspiring to all of us. So we want you just to keep going and just we will follow you as we are now.
No, we work together. We don't have to follow each other.
Thank you very much. And finally, if you want to recommend anything or give advice to our audience, what would it be, Francois?
I would say two things. First of all, don't be frustrated by the opportunity you miss, because if you get frustrated by the opportunity you miss, you waste energy to catch the opportunities coming in front of you. That would be the first thing. If I'm today in Digifort, it's by opportunity. The second thing I want to say, and I always say that to my wife, patience is a virtue and it's worth gold in this industry.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are happy to have you in Sydney, and we hope we will have a great future together. And thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Mohamed Reza. Pleasure.
Pleasure.
You good?
Good? Oh, wow. That was amazing. Yeah, it was better than I